we've got some information, about certain things, and this was a tip that was given to us of Patrick Wilson. It's a he said, she said deal that we've gathered that information so far. And I believe this come from is it a Darren Williams? Is that correct?
It's Daryl.
Darren Williams. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you know Daryl?
Yes.
Okay. How do you?
He is my stepdad.
This is Reporter Room.
Today we have
Jessica
so much stuff to get
Davies.
into. You're not going to believe what's really going on. I'm also going to give you an update on the Stephen Smith case. So let's get started. Today we're going to be discussing important new information in the Alex Murdaugh and also the Stephen Smith case. Attorneys for Alex refused to back away from trying to dig into his leftover 401k, those are his retirement monies, as a way to pay for his pending appeal. Now, Alex is appealing his convictions for doing away with his own wife and son, because unlike regular working class Americans, Alex believes that he should receive special treatment, and taking money from victims is absolutely no problem for Alex. And Alex's attorneys also are coming across as somewhat gross, in my opinion, and everything I'm sharing is my opinion. Opinions are not facts. So, Dick Hartpoolian and Jim Griffin both filed notice with the South Carolina Court of Appeals this week, stating that they are going to appeal both of Judge Daniel Hall's orders, which denied Alex access to the remaining monies in his 401k retirement. To be clear, Judge Hall denied both of these attorneys' requests in May and a second time in June. This money should be going for the victims of Alex, but his attorneys won't seem to take no for an answer. So Judge Hall put Alex's remaining assets under a receivership, and this is being controlled by Lay and McCoy. Now, this receivership is supposed to prevent Alex and any family members or cronies from liquidating his assets and hiding the money. This is something that many believe was happening prior to this money being placed into receivership. But we have to wait for Alex's financial trial to learn more about this. And I'm going to talk about Stephen Smith in just a second. But Alex stands accused of stealing over $8.7 million from his victims. And what kind of bubble do Alex and his two attorneys live in that they believe that they're entitled to this money instead of the victims who are owed millions of dollars? So let's talk about the Stephen Smith case, and then I'm going to share with you a little bit more about Alex Murdaugh. So, quote, substantial progress is being made in the Stephen Smith investigation. Now, this is according to Stephen's mom, Sandy Smith's attorney. His name is Eric Bland, and as you know, the Stephen Smith case was initially ruled a hit and run after he was found lifeless in the middle of the road back in 2015. There have been multiple mentions of Buster Murdaugh in relation to this, but Buster Murdaugh vehemently denies having anything to do with this case. Investigators reopened this case just after the Alex Murdaugh trial concluded with his guilty verdicts and sentencing. Now, this case was ruled a homicide, so changed from a hit and run to a homicide in March of 2023. Eric Bland, the attorney for the family of Stephen Smith, also believes that a grand jury has been impaneled in this case. So let's go back to Alex Murdaugh for a second. Before all of this nonsense began, Alex was already facing over 100 charges of financial crimes. 2 of his cronies have either been found guilty or pled guilty. So now, in addition to being accused of doing away with his own wife and child, stealing from his clients, stealing from his own law firm, stealing from his friends. Alex now wants to take money away from his victims. This financial trial is expected to begin in the coming months and will be overseen by our favorite judge, the same judge we had in the criminal case. State Circuit Judge Clifton Newman will be presiding over the Alex Murdaugh financial trial. I will be following this very closely. Please subscribe.